How do you invoke serverless functions? Have you ever wondered how to trigger serverless functions to perform specific tasks? Today, we will break down the steps to invoke these functions effectively. Serverless functions are pieces of backend code that run on demand in a cloud environment. They handle tasks like processing data, managing application logic, or integrating with other services without the need for server management. To get started, the first step is to deploy your function. You will write your function code using programming languages such as JavaScript, Python, or Java. After writing your code, you will deploy it to a serverless platform like Amazon Web Services Lambda, Netlify Functions, or Microsoft Azure Functions. This deployment process packages your function and uploads it to the cloud environment where it will execute. Next, you need to trigger your function. Serverless functions can be invoked by specific events or calls. One common method is through HTTP requests. You can expose your function as an application programming interface endpoint. When a client sends an HTTP request, such as a GET or POST request, to the function's URL, it triggers the function. This is often done by linking the function to an application, programming interface gateway, or a similar service that routes requests. Another way to invoke serverless functions is through event sources. For example, if you upload a file to cloud storage, that action can automatically trigger a function to process the file. Other events like database changes or scheduled timers can also initiate function execution. You can also invoke functions directly. Developers can use cloud provider software development kits or command line interface tools to call the function by name and pass any necessary input data. Once the function is triggered, the serverless platform runs the function code in a managed container. It handles resource allocation and scaling automatically. The function executes its logic, which may involve querying a database or calling external APIs, and then returns a response, often in the form of JavaScript object notation. Scaling is another important aspect of serverless functions. The cloud provider manages scaling, meaning if multiple requests come in at once, several instances of the function can run simultaneously. You only pay for the compute time your function uses during invocation, making it a cost-effective solution. For a practical example, consider creating and invoking a serverless function as an application programming interface endpoint. You would write a function that handles an HTTP request and returns data, such as fetching information from an external application programming interface. After deploying this function to a serverless platform, it will receive an endpoint URL. When a client sends an HTTP request to that URL, the function is invoked, executes the code, and sends back the response. This method simplifies backend development, allowing you to focus on writing small, single-purpose functions without the hassle of managing servers or infrastructure. Serverless functions integrate seamlessly with application, programming interfaces, databases, and other backend services, making them ideal for building scalable applications. In essence, invoking serverless functions involves deploying your code to a cloud platform and triggering it through HTTP requests, events, or direct calls. The platform takes care of execution, scaling, and resource management, making backend development straightforward and efficient.